Alright guys, welcome back. Grab a drink, settle in, karena kali ini saya mau bikin story time video. Story time, because I don't know. I was thinking about, my adventures. And dekat-dekat ini aku ingat Jamaica. I mentioned it in my Draw My Life story, but yeah, it deserves its own video. I'm gonna tell you a very weird story about how weird I was when I was younger. Umur 17 tahun saya mulai adventure ini. So yeah, it's a year-long adventure of Sasha as a teenager, okay? Aku sekarang udah berubah, obviously. Anyway, I wanted to get out of Canada. I wanted to move to Jamaica. Kenapa? Karena waktu itu aku rasa Kanada itu like sangat biasa banget gitu, and it wasn't sparking anything in me gitu. And I was listening to a lot of reggae, like Bob Marley specifically, but also some other reggae artists at the time. And there's something about the lyrics yang bikin aku penasaran tentang kehidupan mereka, like what do you have to experience in life to write like that? Like, I wanted to explore that world. Karena seni yang keluar dari dunia itu, menurut saya, luar biasa. So, I wanted to explore. Kind of like the way a cop who wants to, or an investigator wants to understand a crime, they'll want to go to the crime scene. Well, yeah, I wanted to understand the lyrics in those songs, and Kingston was the crime scene, right? So, yeah, itu sebabnya aku mau ke Kingston. So, aku ke Jamaica itu bukan ke pantai, tapi ke kota yang gak terlalu indah gitu. Lots of crime, lots of homelessness, lots of, it was weird. When I got there, I went to like this square. It's like a park in the middle of the city. And there was human feces on the sidewalk. So yeah, they have issues. Not the most beautiful of cities. Anyway, and I would stay in like weird random places. So like my mom made me book a hotel. Tapi aku hanya booking the room for like 2 nights because I didn't want to stay at a place where it's like $40 a night or something like that. Karena I'm on a budget. And aku mau lama gitu. Aku mau lama di sana, bukan mau liburan 1 minggu gitu, bukan. So as soon as like that 2 days was up, I left. Akhirnya I ended up renting a room in some woman's house, and every day I'd go downtown. And downtown at that square with all the human feces, that was my favorite spot to hang out. Karena I thought, okay, I want to see what happens here, what life is like here on the streets, gitu, I guess. And I would just sit on a park bench, and there was like a group of rastas, like a community, I don't know, mereka penjual, like they sell tams, baby clothes, a tam is that Jamaican hat, yeah, kalau belum tahu. Anyway, tams, baby clothes, and like random things, like pokoknya jual di pinggir jalan gitu. Anyway, so there's this group of rastas were interesting to me. Aku suka duduk di sana, lihat mereka, gayanya, fashionnya, cara ngomongnya, and so I was kind of like spying on them, I guess, karena I was interested in them. Aku beli koran, aku beli jus, and then aku duduk di bangku, aku liatin mereka terus. Mungkin 2 minggu saya lakukan itu, because I didn't have any friends, I didn't know anybody, and akhirnya they thought, ooh, this is not good. And they came over to me, and they started yelling at me. Mereka marah sekali, mereka bilang saya CIA, saya dikirim dari Amerika untuk bongkar kehidupan rasta di Jamaica or something like that. And I was like, holy crap. First of all, not American, Canadian. Second of all, 17 tahun umurku waktu itu, jadi nggak mungkin aku CIA. And so like I thought, okay, ini bisa selesai cepat dengan saya kasih lihat mereka my ID. And I'm like, I just like your style. I'm like, I'm not a spy. And I kasih lihat my driver's license. And one of them in the group said, "Bom bakla." She has the same birthday as me. I don't know, like, pokoknya dia mulai aneh saat itu. Like, oh, I don't know, like, seandainya we had the same birthday, jadi mungkin sama-sama manusia, I don't know. But yeah, yang lain masih marah-marah, tapi ya udah dah. And then dia duduk di bangku and talk to me a little bit. Dia cerita banyak, aku cerita banyak, dan aku kasih tahu dia, like, you know, I'm a vegetarian, karena dia juga vegetarian, and he invited me to his place, and I went, and he showed me his place. And mungkin tempat dia tinggal, I still have a photo. Dia bukan homeless ya, karena dia bayar sewa tempat itu, maybe like $6 a month or something. Pokoknya ada kasur, and ada bathroom, kind of. Beolnya di ember. Showernya like ada running water, tapi di bawah itu bukan lantai, so like ada batu, so if you step off of the batu or you slip, your foot goes down into like a bunch of dirty water. Menjijikan. And then like if the bucket like udah dipakai gitu, bucketnya nanti dibuang ke halaman belakang rumah, like human waste. And he said, yeah, like dia malu soal itu, tapi ya nggak ada pilihan lain. That was the situation. And like cara dia, like, and I was asking him all these questions about his life, and like he was like, oh yeah, this is what I eat for breakfast. Ya ini like oats, and then oatsnya dia nggak bisa masak situ kan, so like oatsnya dimasukin ke glass, and then tambahin air, and then tambahin gula, terus disimpan, tunggu, udah jadi makan. It's like not great, but it's not bad. So like I thought this is really eye-opening to me. Like daripada aku sewa room in somebody's house, mungkin saya bisa tinggal di sini with you, right? And then I can eat these oats, you know, like it's gonna be great, and nanti my budget will last longer. And then, you know, I can do other things, like I'll pay for the taxi, you let me stay at your place, like that kind of thing. So like akhirnya seperti itu. So I started staying there in that place. He would tell me how he earned money, right? Like sold the tams. Dan dia bisa bikin sendiri tamnya, tapi dia mungkin kurang uang, dia butuh beli yarn. And so pokoknya, okay, let's go to the yarn store, and then I'll buy the yarn and you teach me too how to make them. And then so that's what we did. So he taught me how to make tams. Itu tam yang saya pakai di foto ini, itu saya bikin sendiri. And I used to sell them in Block M too, a long time ago. So yeah, there was that. So in the daytime, we would go downtown, coba jual ini itu, and move around. And at nighttime, we would hang out at this like place, cafe bukan, cuman tempat nongkrong gitu. They would banyak pakai ini, banyak main reggae music. And it was just a fun place to hang out. Tapi yang baik sama saya mungkin cuman dia doang, beberapa orang, karena banyak orang di sana tidak suka sama sosok saya. I don't know, it's like they're suspicious, like what do you want? Karena I was, I guess, suspicious, like because I was so weird, right? Karena turis datang ke Jamaica harusnya, you know, go to a resort, stay in a hotel and go to the beach or go on a cruise, like pokoknya do tourist things. Kok ini aneh gitu. What does she want? And sampai sekarang I still don't know what I wanted. Tapi ya, I just thought it was fulfilling in some way to experience life in somebody else's shoes. Mungkin, yeah, I don't know. Yeah, we started having problems though. Udah mulai ada masalah sedikit. Itu teman-temannya dia tidak mau sama dia lagi, tidak mau dekat sama dia lagi, tidak mau bicara sama dia sama sekali karena ada aku. Karena dia kemana-mana sama aku, and then mereka tetap suspicious like, oh ini bahaya nih orang gitu. And so they kind of kicked him out of the group. And so kita nggak bisa jualan lagi di tempat yang dia jual. And so yeah, it just went sour. And then aku harus pulang ke Kanada, 2 bulan kerja, save my money, and then balik lagi ke Jamaica. So I said, okay, kamu tunggu sini, nanti saya balik lagi, coba lagi, karena uang saya habis. Anyway, so I go back to Canada, I get some money, aku mau pulang lagi ke Jamaica, and pas aku bicara sama dia, like, okay, meet me wherever, right? Dia bilang, oh, thank God you're coming back, because I'm homeless. And I was like, what? Karena ternyata setelah aku pergi, itu orang-orang di komunitas dia, like, I don't know, entah iri atau entah suspicious atau entah apa, pokoknya mereka tidak suka gitu. Ada aku di kehidupan dia. Mereka tidak suka sama sekali, entah kenapa. And they beat him up. Dan kalau sepupunya dia nggak datang, waktu mereka gubukin dia, oh mungkin dia udah meninggal. Karena kasar. Mereka patahin kakinya, mereka potong gimbalnya, ada banyak luka besar di kepalanya, like scarring, right? Karena they remove pieces of his scalp, like pokoknya parah. So he's like, let's get out of Kingston. Kita harus keluar dari Kingston. Kita coba Ocho Rios. Ocho Rios is like a touristy town, lebih santai di sana, so it's not the big city. And so kita pas aku pulang lagi, aku bawa banyak material untuk bikin lilin. And juga hemp untuk bikin hemp necklaces, gitu. And I thought, okay, I'll make my crafts. And then nanti aku bisa jual itu ke, tourist shops gitu. And kita juga ada like bags. So kita bisa belanja tas di Kingston, yang banyak, itu wholesale, and jual itu di pinggir jalan. Bisa. And so he's like, okay, good plan. So, yeah, we moved to Ocho Rios and started doing that. We got a little like shacky type of house. And so, yeah, we moved around a little bit. And it was going well. Orang di sana lebih baik. And, yeah, we didn't have any of his old kind of nasty friends, I guess. Like, well, malam kita bikin, necklaces and lilin and apa. And then setiap hari kita naik, ada taksi di mana like itu mobil lewat, taksinya penuh dengan orang, tapi mereka ambil penumpang gitu di pinggir jalan. So it's like an angkot tapi mobil. And so, yeah, we would go to town every day, and then, ya dia kesana lakukan apa, and then aku kesana lakukan apa. Jadi kebanyakan aku sendiri gitu jalan. So like he's selling here, dia jual tas, aku di sini jual apa. And kita pindah-pindah terus untuk cari orang yang mungkin mau beli. Walking up and down the street, as a seller, you bring all of your things. Jadi aku bawa kotak penuh dengan lilin and necklaces. Hey, do you want a necklace? Hey, do you want a necklace? Hey, mau beli lilin? Gitu. Like, I would do that. And just selling to local people. And kadang-kadang I would sell wholesale to the tourist shops. And kadang-kadang kita misalnya lagi kering gitu, lagi sepi di Ocho Rios. Itu kita, naik bis ke Saint Anne. Atau tempat lain. Just cari like fresh people gitu. And we made friends here and there, and we would meet people sometimes dari Kingston, karena in that community, or in that culture, I guess, pokoknya these sellers, they travel around looking for sale. So yeah, pokoknya kita ada beberapa orang yang dari Kingston juga. His best friend Tarzan bumped into us, and Tarzan was nice. And I remember one time, selling bags. I was selling bags this time. So I had the bags on my shoulder like, hey, mau tas. And ada mobil yang stop aku. And he was like, hey, I like your bags. And I was like, oh, kamu mau bagnya? And he's like, yeah, how much for the bag? And I was like, oh, 150 gitu. Untuk ini 200, untuk ini 100, like seperti itu. And he was like, oh, okay. And aku lupa dia beli atau tidak. Tapi I found out later he was a policeman. And ini penting untuk cerita nanti. I guess I just did all that stuff biar aku bisa lama di Jamaica. Supaya aku bisa, karena kalau cuman bawa gaji saya dari Kanada, itu akan habis, saya harus pulang lagi. Tapi kalau begini, and aku tetap, muterin duit, itu saya bisa lama banget gitu. And so yeah, that was my plan. But yeah, one day we were out in St. Anne's. There was a cruise ship about to land in St. Anne's. And if you go waktu cruise ship baru parkir, itu orang keluar and mereka bawa US dollar. And so apapun yang kita jual, bisa jual US dollars, lebih mahal sedikit. And so it's a good spot. And kebetulan it's right in front of the police station, tapi saya rasa no problem karena I'm not breaking the law, right? Or I didn't think I was. So I made a sale. I was pretty happy. And then the police stopped me. I mean, the police came out of the station and said, are you Sasha Stevenson? Like, and they said that they had been looking for me for weeks. Tapi kebetulan aku lama nggak ke St. Anne's. So yeah, they found me after a couple weeks. And they took me to the police station and they didn't want to tell me anything. Mereka nggak mau cerita apapun. Kenapa mereka cari saya? And they just asked for my passport and apalah gitu. And so this, Joseph, my partner, dia balik ke tempat tinggal. Dia ambil paspor, dia balik lagi ke kantor polisi. And I was like, see, it's fine. Can you let me go now? And dia bilang, oh, sorry, that's not gonna happen. And you're arrested. You're under arrest. And I was like, what? Like, what have I done? Jamaica itu sangat terbuka untuk Canadians. Jadi, you get 6 months. You get 6 months for free gitu kalau datang. But I didn't know that the second time I came, mereka hanya cap 2 minggu. Karena the second time I came, I had like a promo ticket pulang pergi untuk 2 minggu, tapi sangat murah, so aku beli itu. And then rencananya pas mau balik ke Kanada, aku beli tiket ulang. Itu rencanaku. Tapi karena tiketnya begitu, mereka capnya 2 minggu, padahal harusnya dapat 6 bulan. They were able to hold me because of that visa situation. And I was like, just because of the passport thing, like, you have to arrest me? And dia nggak mau cerita lagi. I was not allowed to go home, and yeah, I ended up in the St. Anne's Bay jail. And it was about the size of like 2 of my sofas put together. That's the room size, this cell. And inside was like, there were 2 Americans and a Jamaican woman who was under arrest for accessory to murder. And the 2 Americans were there for drugs. One tried to bring 2 kilos of coke onto a cruise ship, and the other one 1 kilo, because she was skinnier, harder to hide, I guess. And they were doing that for their boyfriends, of course. And yeah, it was just a weird experience. I wasn't really scared. Aku nggak terlalu takut karena aku pikir I didn't really do anything wrong. And so, ya pasti ini cuma kesalahan yang biasa, and they're gonna let me go. But the other girls were like, well, I waited here in this cell for 9 months before I got my court date. And then the other one's like, yeah, me, 5 months. So I was like, oh, okay, well. But anyway, I thought, tidak apa-apa, apapun yang terjadi, aku sedikit beruntung karena nggak semua orang di dunia bisa punya pengalaman ini. Ini luar biasa. Aku kan orang kampung dari Kanada. So for me to see this world was exciting in a way. So aku nggak terlalu takut. Although it could have went really bad. Yeah, and all the walls were like, pokoknya ada Jesus save me, and like banyak quotes from the Bible like written all over the walls. You could tell people were really suffering in there. Before I arrived. Sometimes there would be up to 5 people in that cell. Tergantung siapa, karena keluar masuk. It's not prison. It's just jail. So like kita di sana tunggu court date, and that can be a long time. And but so small, and you can only go out once a day, like for an hour. And so yeah, if you have to poop or pee or do anything like that, and you're in the room under lockdown, itu disuruh bucket. And I was like, oh, bucket, oh, itu saya ngerti. No, but it's so embarrassing karena harus di depan orang. And the American girl, one of the American girls, dia harus poop tadi one of the nights dia harus poop, and so I have to sit there, right, and like kan kecil tempatnya, so I have to sit here, and she's pooping in a bucket. Bucketnya embernya kecil, like embernya segini. She's sitting on there pooping, and the rest of the girls were like, oh my god, it's all around humiliating and gross. And then the food, they bring you food. they brought us food also in a bucket. They love buckets over there. They love buckets. Itu makanannya juga dibawa di ember, and the ember was penuh dengan sup kaki ayam. And I was a vegetarian, so I couldn't eat any of the food. And I'll tell you more about my vegetarian thing and the Rastafarian thing later. Geez, how long would this video be? Yeah, pokoknya I was religiously vegetarian. I'm never eating those chicken feet. I wasn't in there for very long though. And a lot of the girls smoked. The girls smoked. Tapi di situ nggak boleh rokok. So, kan kita boleh keluar 1 jam per hari. So kita, aku lihat ada daun-daun kering gitu in the bars, like right up in the corner, di depan kamar mandi. So we would climb up. Pokoknya ada caranya untuk climb up there and collect the dry leaves. And it's not tobacco, yeah. It's just dried leaves, like dari daun apa gitu, daun biasa. And itu diginiin, and kita pakai kertas dari kertasnya dari Jamaican patties. Sometimes orang bawain kita makanan, and then it's in a paper bag. Itu paper bag itu sama daun kering itu, dibikin. I forgot how we would light them. Tapi yeah, so we would smoke like daun kering in a paper bag. Very classy, guys. And so that's what it was like in the jail cell. And then I got a visitor. They wouldn't let me call my mom, by the way. So I wasn't involved in all this stuff. I was able to get a message out there to her, so I figured they knew my problem. Tapi, yeah, I was kind of in there not knowing the progress of my case. Yeah, and I got a visitor. I had a visitor, and it was somebody who wanted to take my blood. They came to take my blood 2 times, and I was like, kenapa kamu mau darahku? Like, ini nggak nyaman banget, and I don't know why you're doing it. What do you want my blood for? And tidak mau cerita mereka. And then the second time, they did it again. And then lagi-lagi, I had no choice. They just took my blood. Tidak mau cerita kenapa mereka ambil darahku. Until someone else came to visit me, and I thought, oh, ini sama, ini polisi juga, ini pasti not on my side gitu loh. And he says, don't you know who I am? I'm your lawyer. So I was like, okay, my family must have gotten me a lawyer. And he said, do you know why they took your blood? And I was like, no. He said, they think you're a prostitute. They're building a prostitution case against you. And it all kind of like blew my mind after after all that, like roaming the streets, like backbreaking work, selling candles, and like, oh my God. And they think I'm a prostitute? Cause it's weird, guys. Cause it's weird. Karena aneh banget. Mana ada bule yang begitu di negara orang. It's freaking weird. So yeah, I can see why they're like, it must be something. So the suspicion of me. And they took my blood karena mereka mau lihat saya HIV positive atau tidak. She's a prostitute, probably has HIV, probably spreading it around, or whatever. I don't know. They were going to use this for their case, but I was negative. Yay. Yeah. Anyway, I think this lawyer guy did a really great job. I got a court date right away, and they got me out of there. So I was out of the situation. But I had to be deported. But I can come back. So it's like deportasi ringan. Udah nyampe ke Kanada, I was like, okay, well, I'm going to go to the Jamaican embassy. Aku complain, apalah, ini itu. And so I did that. And then aku tunggu, I don't know, 2 bulan or whatever. And then aku balik lagi ke Jamaica untuk ambil ini, apa namanya? Pokoknya ada berkas-berkas di court, di pengadilan. Untuk terangin like what happened, and apparently it was on information. So I was arrested on information. So mungkin itu salah satu musuhnya Joseph yang tunjuk saya, or kata-katain saya or something. I don't know. And the guy on the street yang mau beli tas waktu itu yang aneh yang agak centil, that was a policeman looking for evidence. Karena I would think he was just trying to wait until like, hey, I also have more than bags. Like, but I didn't, because I was literally just selling stuff. Now I still was like, gua mau tinggal di Jamaica. I'm gonna make my life work. Ini cuman small bump in the road, and it's okay. Udah terjadi, and we got over it. So like, move on with life. My crazy Jamaican life. But then the disaster was Joseph. Like, he became my main disaster. Yeah, this was the time we got Bones' place. Like, he was always a bit weird. Like, I remember waktu pertama kali saya balik ke Kanada untuk kerja sebentar, pas aku pulang lagi, aku bawain banyak baju gitu. Karena aku lihat like dia itu like, miskin. And so I was like, oh, dia pasti mau baju. And so aku beli baju dari Frenchies. Itu like second-hand store gitu di Kanada. And it's okay to wear second-hand clothes in Canada. Nggak ada like orang kaya pun juga belanja di situ because it's fun. It's part of our culture, this Frenchies, this second-hand store thing. So I thought, no problem. Like, I'll bring these clothes, and it's like really cool stuff, like, U.S. Army jackets and like cool pants, and pokoknya aku banyak bawain baju yang keren-keren, yang pasti dia suka. Oh, dia tidak suka, guys. Dia tidak suka sama sekali. There was something in his brain gitu tentang pride, like karena dia rasta, masa dia pakai baju bekas. And I was thinking, whoa, like, okay. And he was upset with me. Didn't say thank you, and just tidak pernah dipakai gitu baju-baju keren itu karena bekas orang. Gua kan, this guy poops in a bucket, and he's like, tidak mau pakai baju bekas orang karena Canadians are so gross or what? Like, I don't know. Pokoknya ada hal seperti itu yang terjadi di dia, but I was like, okay, well, beda budaya, it's okay. And saya juga banyak belajar tentang Rastafarianism dari dia. Aku menjadikan dia hampir seperti guru gitu. Apa itu Rasta? And what's a good Rasta? Karena di Jamaica juga ada Rasta, and then ada rent-a-dread. Yani mereka bilang rent-a-dread is orang punya gimbal saja, tapi tidak ikuti aturan Rastafarianism. Karena ada aturannya, like tidak minum alkohol, tidak makan daging. They stay away from chemicals, all chemicals. So no drugs, okay? Ini lain cerita, okay? Tapi drugs, no. And pokoknya you live a really healthy, natural life. You'll see in this picture, like, tidak boleh potong rambut. Oh my God, Sasha, let it grow. Yeah, that's why. And yeah, I grew my dreadlocks. And then, like they have, instead of saying Bismillah, sebelum makan, maybe they'll say like, praise Haile Selassie I the First, Rastafari, or something like that. They had some rituals and some sayings and a way of life gitu, and I was like really interested in learning about that. Although mungkin saya untuk praising Haile Selassie, and there's like a poster of Haile Selassie from like the 70s, it felt a bit weird to me gitu, tapi I liked everything else about it. Banyak aku belajar dari dia, and aku belajar banyak masakan dari dia, like aital stew. Yeah, so learning how to do Jamaican cooking, vegetarian Jamaican cooking. Dia pintar sekali masak. And yeah, I just learned so much from him. I tolerated a lot karena itu. But it was starting to get really bad, and he was like abusive. So now I know like banyak abuse terjadi di Jamaica. It's part of the culture in the area where I was anyway, yang aku lihat. So like parents hit their kids. Ini contoh saja, like ada anak kecil mungkin umurnya 9 tahun gitu, and dia suka main di pintu depan kamar saya. And she was with this other kid, and they're playing ludi, like checkers, or pokoknya ada board game gitu. Mereka main itu, and I said, oh, that's fun. Oh, I'll give $1. Aku kasih $1 kepada pemenangnya. And then, oh, itu anak kecil 9 tahun, semangat, right? Pokoknya ibunya anak itu, pendapatnya lain. Dia pikir saya ngajarin dia gambling. And she beat her daughter with a whip. And so we saw her the next day, and she had blood, sampai berdarah gitu. And we heard her screaming when it happened, karena the mother took her daughter, like dia angkat anaknya, dia ambil pokoknya ada macam pohon where it's kind of like a whip. So she pulled off like a branch of that tree that's like a whip, and she whipped her daughter with kakinya nggak di tanah ya, diangkat satu tangan, and then sampai berdarah. I was like, holy crap. And so like what happened to me is like nothing compared to that, but like I could see why they have violence, because like, yeah, it's a parenting technique there. So yeah, anyway, so I had an argument with Joseph one time, and I could tell he was getting into that mode of like violence, and he went to grab a bottle, like a glass bottle, and I thought, oh I'm gonna have to get out of here. So I ran as fast as I could to the room, dan tutup pintu sebelum dipecahin itu di palaku. And dia tidak bisa buka, aku kunci, tapi ada jendela, dia coba masuk ke jendela, and he shimmied it so that like his hand he could get in. So the bottle itu dia masukin ke situ, and then dia coba lempar ke saya botolnya. So he was throwing stuff at me. Anyway, so I took the mattress, and I pushed it up against the window so that he couldn't see me and couldn't throw things at me. And aku keluar karena ada pintu belakang di kamar kita yang masuk ke rumahnya Bones. So I went there, I ran into Bones punya warung. So I ran into Bones' warung, and I went right under his feet, and I said, Bones, aku ngumpet di sini ya, please, Joseph itu lagi gila. And he's like, oh yeah. So aku duduk di kakinya Bones under the table of the warung, and Joseph came in, and he's like, oh, Bones, chill. Tadi mau bunuh saya, sekarang chill. Chill. He's like, have you seen my woman? And Bones is like, oh, no, I haven't seen her. Logatnya dia jauh lebih keren dari saya, by the way. Like, no, I haven't seen her. And he's like, yeah, she's got it coming to her, and she doesn't listen to me, and I'll show her a lesson, but she must have ran up the road or something. And Bones was like, yeah, let her win this one. She won this round, he says. Just let her go. Just relax. And mereka chit-chat biasa untuk 5 minit. And I was just under the table thinking, I have to get out of here. Like, I can't live. Like, this is ridiculous. Terima kasih Bones. Sebesar-besarnya. And then setelah itu aku relax, aku chill, aku seandainya nggak ada apa-apa, tapi di hatiku udah putus sama Jamaica dan sama Joseph dan semuanya. Such a hopeless kind of place. Just like, I don't know, I had the whole hopeless vibe from the human feces on the street side down to, you know, the love. I don't know, just gagua banget. So I like the vegetarianism, and yeah, tapi I didn't like that. I left on a ticket, and then dia nangis like, oh, come back soon. And I was like, yeah, I'm just gonna work for a couple more months and then come back. I never went back. Found Indonesia, man. A much gentler place, a much gentler culture of people, and also lebih banyak hope di sini. There is hope in Indonesia. Like Jamaica line. Like, yeah. That's what I used to do on vacation. Those were my vacations that I used to take. And I had so many stories there that I can't share with you. I don't feel comfortable sharing on YouTube. But yeah, that was kind of like the weird Sasha. I was 17. And from a good family. Anyway, guys, that was my story. Thanks for listening. And I'll see you next time. Bye.